Here is my WSU State Digital Nursing Portfolio. So my nursing journey started when I was a little bit younger. At the age of about 11 or 12, I was first diagnosed with my autoimmune disease. I saw countless doctors and spent a lot of time in different hospitals with different specialists, and I missed a lot of school. It was definitely a pretty challenging time for me, especially being so young, but it helped me realize what I truly wanted to do. It wasn't until I went to Mass General Pediatrics that they finally were able to diagnose me, and I had spent some time with some of the most amazing nurses I had ever met. They really inspired me to go to school for nursing and have a career that allowed me to combine my love for science and medicine with my love for helping others. And so that's what brought me here today. I was finally ready to graduate high school and commit to WSU State. I was so excited to begin my nursing school career, but also so nervous about what a workload would look like for a college student. My parents and I packed up the car and had one last family breakfast before dropping me off at Dowden. I lived on the 3rd floor, also known as the nursing floor, and I loved getting to meet all the other girls who were in my program, and I was so lucky to get to make friendships early on. It was really nice to have a big group of people who understood what you were going through. Here is a picture of my dorm and me on my first day of classes, my little outfit that I wore, and then just some photos of my friends who I am still friends with today and absolutely adore. On top of all my studies, I also joined the dance team at WSU State, and that is easily one of the best decisions I had made. I loved meeting all the girls, and I made some of my best friends that I still have today, and I am very grateful I took the jump and decided to try out and join. Unfortunately, this is the part in my story where I tell you that COVID hit. And it was a huge change for me, especially since I had just started to really get comfortable with the people around me. I wasn't sure how I was going to do school from home. I barely knew how to use my new computer, and I was not looking forward to making this brand new adjustment. While I worked my way through the new at-home workload, I spent a lot of time with my family and my dog, and I went on a lot of walks. I even had my little white coat ceremony at home with my parents, and here is a picture from that. This was also the year I got to buy my first pair of scrubs, and I think that's a huge part of every young nursing student's career, so I was very excited. By the time sophomore year came around, I was more than ready to move out and be on my own again, so we packed up the car and moved me into Wesleyan Hall with a couple of my friends. I had a double room all to myself, which was awesome, and I loved living back on campus. Things were definitely not the same as they were before COVID, and all my classes were still online. It was definitely a huge shift for me, and I had a little bit of trouble learning. I really struggled with the math exams, and I almost failed out because of how tough they were for me. By the time winter break came around, I had started to realize that maybe I would be better off taking the second semester of sophomore year at home. Everything was online anyways, and so I figured why not save a little bit of money. Right before second semester started, I caught COVID and had to take a couple weeks to rest, but by the time I was all healed up, I was ready to start the next semester of school. I studied like crazy and was able to pass my health assessment my first try, and that was a huge accomplishment for Hannah and I. I also got vaccinated and started my first clinical ever at St. Francis. I can vividly remember being handed all the supplies to go give a bed bath to a patient on my first day, and I had tears in my eyes because I was petrified to go actually touch a patient for the first time. But everything was okay, and looking back on it now, I can't even imagine thinking twice about going to care for a patient. Junior year was easily the most academically challenging year I had in nursing school. I cried a lot, I struggled a lot, and I stressed a lot. But once I finally got the hang of studying and started to figure it out, I finally felt okay again. I quickly learned how much I loved maternity, and also that PD was not really my thing. We did tons of labs where we all got to play out roles such as the mom, the patient, and obviously the nurse. This was also the year I became the vice president of the dance team and got to experience my first ever nationals. We competed in Florida and made amazing memories in Disney World. Juggling the commitments of the dance team with my nursing commitments was definitely a huge challenge for me, and I'm very proud to say that I did it. I also landed my first CNA job at Milford Regional Medical Center in their ICU. I still work there today, and I love it. And finally, senior year. This has probably been my favorite year of nursing school, and I had the opportunity to move in with 4 of my best friends to an off-campus apartment. I loved my psych and community rotations and learned a lot. I was also luckily given a preceptorship in med-surg at Milford Regional Medical Center. I absolutely loved working one-on-one with my preceptor and learned so much. I was also reminded how much I love working with the older population. I was also fortunate enough to go with the nursing program to Ireland over spring break. It was definitely a trip that was a little out of my comfort zone, but I'm so happy I did it. It was a truly eye-opening experience, and I will take it with me throughout my entire healthcare career. These are just a funny couple of pictures of me in one of the worst hotel rooms I have ever stayed in Ireland. And then the next photo is Professor Palmer and Professor Fleury helping us upgrade our hotel room to something better. And as you can see, I am much happier. This is also my last year of dance, and I was very lucky to be elected the president of the dance team. I am so proud of everything we have accomplished this year, and it is definitely a very bittersweet goodbye. My next step in my nursing career is going to take place at Massachusetts General Hospital on an oncology floor. I am beyond excited to start working there, and I will hopefully be moving to Boston. Nursing school has definitely been the hardest thing I have ever done in my life, but I am so proud of myself and grateful that I had the experience. I could have never done it without the people in these photos, and I am so lucky to have the friendships and support that I have.